I'm like talking super fast and I don't know why, but I'm sorry for that. I'll try to slow it down a bit so you guys can really get all of these tips in. Okay, so hey everybody, it is Hannah and okay. Hey everyone, it's Hannah, and if you're new here, I am a first year at Yale University, and I am planning on majoring in political science and religious studies, or philosophy, something of that sort. Anyways, today we are going to talk about college application tips. So I did a little poll thing on the community tab of my channel asking you guys which video you'd want to see, and it turned out that you guys wanted to see college application tips, which is pretty obvious. Like, okay, I totally get that. Yeah, so I just like made a list right here just to remind myself what I want to say. If you couldn't tell, I chopped my hair. I'm super excited. So yeah, you guys wanted me to give you some college application tips, and I'm totally here for it. I'm totally down. I made a whole list and I am ready to go. So I don't know how this whole pandemic is going to affect the college admissions process, but yeah, so I think my tips will still apply, and I hope the best for all of you upcoming seniors right now. So I am going to start with the general to-dos. So general things that like I think are good to keep in mind during this application season, during the application season in general. I would say to have a list of the colleges you're thinking about by the end of the junior year. And honestly, this doesn't have to be all the colleges you're going to apply to, because I had a list of like 30 colleges and I narrowed it down during the fall of my senior year. But definitely have a good like a good chunk of list ready by the end of your junior year. So in the summer, you just like have a good idea and you can start thinking about your top colleges, your colleges that you definitely want to apply to. And also so you're not scrambling your senior year fall. I was like completely scrambled, but there were a lot of people who were very scrambled by their senior year fall, and you just don't want your senior year to be super stressful. Okay. Also important to keep in mind to secure your recommendation letters by junior year spring. And if you go to like a good public school, if you go to a private school, like these are things that they're probably like telling you, reminding you of constantly. But I don't know, some schools might not be reminding you of this, and I just wanted to put it out there. Like secure them by junior spring, but then they'll write them in your senior year. Start writing your drafts of your college essays in the summer before your senior year. But you don't need like a topic at all, and you could just start writing about yourself. It doesn't even have to be essay format. Just like start thinking of like who you are. Those profound questions of like, who am I, you know? Later you could just fix it and it'll be whatever. That was like my general college application thing. And all of these tips are kind of just like about the whole application process in general. But if you guys want me to make specific videos going more in depth about interviews, my interview experience, because I had interviews with Yale, UPenn, Harvard, I don't know if I went to other interviews. And I could also talk more in depth about essays, but I also made a video reading my Common App essay and my supplemental essays. So both of those are tagged. So if you want to see what my essay sounded like, go ahead and watch those videos, but everyone's essays are going to be unique. Okay, back to my tips. Get organized. That's a big one. I love organizing everything and like having things color-coded. I'm obsessed with it. I'm Enneagram type of 1, which is very much that personality type as well. Anyways, back to this. Everyone, no matter what Enneagram type you are, should be organized for their college applications. Even if you're the least organized person in the world, this is something you need to be organized for. Personally, you don't have to be as organized as me, But, so I did this thing, and I made a spreadsheet of all the colleges I applied to. It's color-coded because those were the ones I got into, I didn't get into, or got waitlisted. Just to keep track, I made a spreadsheet. And you can too, if you really want to. You don't have to, but it's the easy way to stay organized. First, you put the columns of all the colleges, and then in each other column, you can do like what's important to you, like location, atmosphere, if it's urban or rural. You can put the tuition cost, the school size, how many students are there. And yeah, you can start with having your dream schools and put their, like median SAT score. And that can be kind of your goal SAT score that you want to reach, your goal GPA that you want to reach, because those are your goal schools. Just a good way to see kind of like how you match up compared to the schools you want to go. And it's all in one place. And also, there's this really good resource online. It's called Prep Scholar. Say you wanted to go to Yale. You put in Yale and you put admissions acceptance and put in Prep Scholar in the Google search bar, or whatever search engine you're using. It's usually the first website that shows up. You can click on that and you scroll all the way to the bottom, and it has a spot where you put in your SAT scores or ACT scores and your GPA, and you can see how you match up with that college, which is really cool, really neat thing to do. It gives you like a percentage of what your chances are, and it kind of gives you some way to calculate like, oh, is this a reach school for me, or is this a safety, or whatever. Yeah, so essays, a little general tips about the essays, and mainly about the Common App. The most important thing is to show you have a passion. And I heard this from some other person, I think it was another YouTuber, and they said that you need to show you have a passion without saying the word passion. So like, show that you love politics, show that you love biology, like show you love like whatever it is, you love art, you love theater, whatever it is, show you love it through a story, an anecdote, like some descriptive language, like whatever you want, but don't say like, my passion is politics, you know? And it just makes for a better essay in general. Also, don't think too hard about it. It kind of counterintuitive, but don't think too hard about making it super interesting or making it like a hook, because it's unique to you, and whatever's unique to you is interesting because it's something that no one else has read. But if you're trying too hard, you might make it look like everyone else's. And you just want to be authentic with it. A general good idea to have is to take a big event of your life, a big part of your life, and describe yourself through the lens of that event. Kind of like a general structure, I'd say, is like you start with the event, then you explained what you learned about it and how it shaped you like as a person. And then you could kind of go in more in depth about your life perspective now versus before. And you could end about talking about your goals in relation to it all. And that event would have to do with whatever your passion is or whatever you're thinking about studying at school. If any of this doesn't make any sense, you'd ask clarification questions in the comments below. But I'm just trying to do my best to not be super wordy, not be super wordy. Now on to interviews. Every college does not do this. I would say most do not. But I'm definitely pretty sure that all the Ivies do. If you want to get into an Ivy League, that's your goal. Like a job interview, you want to prepare some general ideas of what you're going to say about yourself. Like, kind of just have an idea of like what your strengths and weaknesses are, what your general life goals are. Also, a really important thing to know when you're going into interviews is to know about the college. And I mean, you may be thinking like, duh, like I want to know about the college. But you want to know like unique things about the college, like things that distinguish it from other colleges, and if it's an Ivy League, other Ivy Leagues. They don't want you, if you don't want them, if that makes sense. Like, they want someone who's genuinely prideful about their school. Yeah, no. Here's some of my college application tips that's kind of a little bit more deep, a little bit deeper. A big aspect of applying to colleges is the time and like energy it takes out of you, and that takes a big toll on your mental health. And I saw so many people break down. I broke down myself quite a bit applying to colleges my senior year, and especially if you're coming from, you know, like a public school or like a inner city school or something like that doesn't have, you know, the resources and kind of like the atmosphere where you're like, okay, like I can do it. Like, you're completely unsure. And I definitely know that takes a lot out of a person. Going through that myself. I'm going to make a video about what's it like being first gen low income in college, specifically at the Ivy League level. But yeah, it's a lot on your mental health, and even for just anyone, even if you go to like the best school in the country, it takes a lot on your mental health. Almost every person I know who was applying to college had some sort of anxiety, some panic about like what their future is gonna look like. First things first, you have to remember that this is completely normal. Like, during this time, almost everybody, pretty much everyone, is feeling these things, and it's during such a high pressure time of your life. But try to take deep breaths. Breaks are necessary sometimes. Your worth is not defined by the college that you go to. It's totally not defined by what college you go to. And I know you might be thinking like, oh, you say that, but you go to Yale. It doesn't matter. Like, if I didn't go to Yale, my worth is still not found in that school. My worth is found in Christ. My worth is found in God. It's not found in a school. You may not like have that same foundation, but your worth is not. Your worth is not founded in what school you go to. It may seem like everything right now, but it's really not. And I just really want to say that, and I really want you guys to hear that. And in the end, your life is your life. Like, what's most important is your health. You can make the best out of whatever school you go to. So just rest in that. Yeah, that was just a quick little rant about general anxiety and panic that comes with the application season. But of course, there are some people who have stronger issues with anxiety and depression, and if it worsens at this time, you know, keep going to seek mental health help from counsel, because you're not meant to do life alone. And just find that person that you can trust. If you need to go to a therapist, I would definitely recommend that. There are ways you can kind of make it less stressful. Starting with time management, being organized, that's definitely a way where you can reduce the stress in the whole application process. So you have time to sleep. Sleep really does help your body, help your mind. But if you do have to pull those all-nighters, like I've been there. If you have to pull those all-nighters and you're not getting any sleep, there are some ways you can make it less stressful. I know when I stay up all night, I listen to music that I like to keep me awake and also to keep me in good spirit. Eat and drink things that I like. I mainly drink a lot of water. You can do a face mask, you can light a candle, you could put some, what's it called? Okay, you can light a candle. You could wear like your favorite comfy clothes, like whatever. You could do these things while you're doing your homework, while you're writing your essays. So it's not taking time away from what you're staying up to do, but it's keeping your mood positive. And just some final advice to sum it all up. So apply to a college if you genuinely see yourself there. If not, you're not going to be happy. It's just that simple. Like, don't apply to a college because of its reputation. You want to apply to yourself. You want to apply to college because you see yourself there, not because of its reputation. Because, like, you'll be miserable if you go to a college that just sounded good. Like, you hate cities, and you applied to a college in the city. Like, you know, not just like normal like doubts of not fitting in, but like things you know like you would hate. And also, just one last thing, I know it's super, super, super cliche, but wherever you end up is where you're meant to be. Honestly, wherever you end up is where you're meant to be. And yeah, that's my little advice. Little old me. Yeah, like and subscribe. And I'll be back with more videos soon.